Namaste. Welcome to another interesting episode of Bhojana Katha. India is a land of diverse traditions. Food, clothing, language, rituals, everything changes from state to state. Yet, there is a string of oneness that holds this country together. This variety is what makes this country so interesting. This variety reflects in the food we eat also, right? Be it anywhere in the country, the thali has so much of variety, but it will always be a balanced meal. Today, we explore the South Indian thali, the Ela Sapadu. The tradition of serving food on a banana leaf is atypical in the southern states, probably because the plantain farms are many and the leaves are available in plenty, and much more. The banana leaf makes a natural plate. It is eco-friendly, sizable, it has medicinal values too. It kills germs and helps in digestion. Let us take a typical Tamil meal for instance. A minimum of 10 to 15 varieties of dishes are served for a traditional lunch. So let us go over to the Ela Sapadu. What happens first is water is sprinkled gently and the leaf is cleaned. And then the first thing to be served is the sweet, the payasam. And then comes the pachidi. The pachidi is cut veggies dunked in curd. Then comes the hot poriyal or cooked veggies. Then the aviyal or kootu, and then the togayal, again made out of some vegetable. Then comes the spicy pickle in the corner of the ela, the chitrannam or the variety rice. Then the vada, fried veggies or chips. Then comes the podi, a podi that can go with rice. Now it's time for the main meal. So hot rice is heaped in the middle of the ela. A little bit of gap is made in the center. Ghee is poured which melts down the hot rice. A little bit of parupu or cooked tur dal is added. Then comes the spicy, hot, tangy sambar. Then comes the appalam. Sometimes it is the korambu. More korambu or vata korambu are the popular choices. After the sambar sadam comes the delightful rasam. Finally, we finish with curd rice or thai sadam that soothes the body down.
Just like how there is a particular order to serve the food, every dish has a particular spot to be served on the leaf. It is important to serve everything hot in an Ela Sapadu. Today we are going to look into the stories of two important heroes on the Ela Sapadu menu, which is sambar and aviyal. Sambar. It is now a popular dish relished by all across India. It is so because cuisines travel with people, right? Let us go back in time to the early Tamil empires to understand how sambar came about. The Cholas ruled most regions of Tamil Nadu from the 9th to 13th centuries. They were one of the longest ruling dynasties ever in the world history. The Chola kings patronized art, architecture, literature and religion. When at its peak, the Chola kingdom spread its influence across the seas, even to Sri Lanka, Indonesia and other Southeast Asian countries. After the 13th century, the empire faded out. And Tanjavur, which was the stronghold of the Cholas, came under the control of the Nayaks under the Vijayanagara Empire. Then rose the mighty Marathas under the visionary Shivaji Maharaj. They spread their empire all over India and they re-established Swarajya. It was the Maratha king Shahaji who ruled over Tanjavur belt in the 17th century. So Sambhaji, the eldest son of Shivaji, visited Shahaji. The royal guest deserves a royal meal, right? Amti is a mildly sour dish made with moong dal and kokum. And it's a very famous Maharashtrian dish. Kokum is sour just like tamarind and it is found in plenty in North India. To the disappointment of the chief cook, no kokum was available in the kitchen of the South. It could not be procured either. Now it was time for innovation. And a new dish was made with tamarind instead of kokum. And tur dal was used instead of moong dal. So this new tasty tangy dish was specially served for Sambhaji. So the dish was named after him, Sambar. Now sambar is a household dish in almost all the South Indian states. But from state to state, there are some variations they make to sambar, but its origin is attributed to Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu. Since paruppu or pulses is used in sambar, it is a protein-rich dish. Vegetables are added, so it is fiber-rich also. The asafoetida, the curry leaves, turmeric, tamarind adds all the antioxidants punch to it. So while you relish the sambar, be happy that you are eating a healthy dish as well. There is an interesting spiritual analogy to the order of serving on the Ela Sapadu. This was given by His Holiness Sri Chandrasekhara Saraswati, or Periyava as he is fondly called. He says the order of serving on the Ela is Kolambu or Sambar, Rasam, Payasam or Kheer, and More or buttermilk. The word Kolambu in Tamil literally means confuse. And the dish also has complicated taste, laden with cut vegetables in it, and all of that. It is compared to our state of mind. At first, it is laden with thoughts and it is chaotic, confused. Next in the order comes the rasam, which is a clear liquid. So this is compared to the mind that has transitioned from chaos to clarity. Next comes the payasam, which is sweet. With clarity, now the mind has the capacity to groom sweet thoughts and hence happiness blooms. At last comes the more or the buttermilk. Do you know that buttermilk is the end product of churning milk to curd, curd to buttermilk? So there is nothing more to transition from there. So it implies the final moksha, where one gets free from the mind and there is nothing remaining to be achieved after that. Such a profound example, right? From the Ela Sapadu.
Now, over to the next dish on our menu, Aviyal, a curry with different kinds of vegetables, coconut and curd. There are many stories about the creation of this dish. One dates back to the Mahabharata times. When the Pandavas were defeated in the game of dice, they had to go to exile in the forest for 12 years and live incognito on the 13th year. 12 years had passed. The Pandavas took refuge in the Virata kingdom on the 13th year. Each one of them took a different role. Yudhishthira became the royal advisor to the king, while Arjuna decked up like a woman and taught music and dance to the princess. Draupadi was the queen's beautician and hairdresser. Nakula and Sahadeva became cattle consultant and horse groomer. And now it was Bhima's turn, and he took up the role of a royal cook. Once, after serving food to everybody, a guest unexpectedly arrived at the palace and there was no food left. It is believed that Bhima put together all the remaining vegetables and cooked it with some ground coconut and added some curd to it. This was the newfound dish. The other story is more recent. The king of Travancore organized a big feast for all his people, and since it was important that the feast was befitting the king himself supervised the preparations. As he was going around the royal kitchen, he saw that a lot of vegetables were wasted, heaped, dumped. Also, the corner pieces were unused, and the king was disappointed. He didn't like wastage of food, so he asked the head chef to prepare a new dish with all that was wasted here. So the head chef thought for a while, cut the remaining veggies into lengthy bits. He cooked this with turmeric, then he added ground coconut, green chilies and cumin seeds, and he added them in a coarse consistency to the vegetables. Then he added a little bit of curd before taking it off the fire and poured some coconut oil and added curry leaves. Ta-da! And there was our new dish. Drum rolls, Aviyal. So truly, wealth from waste. It is one amongst the important dishes on the Ela Sapadu. In a Kerala Ela Sapadu especially, Aviyal is a must, a necessity. Since there are so many vegetables used in the Aviyal, the word Aviyal is used in Tamil and Malayalam languages to indicate if the situation has gone out of hand because of too many reasons. Since the Aviyal is a medley of vegetables cooked to the right consistency, the health benefits are many actually. Yummy and healthy, cooked in one dish. Interesting, right? From the larger picture, we zoomed into two dishes. Let us zoom out and see the various dishes including the pickle, vada, appalam, Very colorful, aromatic, enticing. Almost all the vegetables, spices are used in this spread on the leaf. Another important sentiment to remember is that food is sacred in our culture and it is not to be wasted. So, ideally, the host feels ecstatic when one eats everything on the banana leaf, leaving it clean and empty behind. After this sumptuous Elasapade, remember to thank everyone whom you may or may not know but has helped you relish this meal. In your mind, say Annadhata Sukhi Bhava. This is a blessing to send surge of positive vibes and prayers towards the people who put food on the table.